Morning. It's 8:47 in the morning. I'm just about to start the Morrison, Rimrock, and Black Bear Trail. Just kind of combining them all together this time. Yeah, it's about, I think it's 11.4 miles or something like that. Definitely super excited. I just took my first full week off of work other than tragic events for the first time in almost 6 years. So about halfway through that, so I'm excited. Got my pack all ready to go. Got my cooking stuff for in the car as well for when I get back from my trip tomorrow, so that I can actually cook some more warm food when I get to the car as well. But yeah, made a lot of gear changes. Really excited to test it out. First trip last year, I was at like a 50-pound pack, and I mean, I did it. It's not a good time. I'm down to now a 20-pound base weight, so big improvement there. And with my food and booze, I'm up to just 25 pounds. And water too. So, yeah. So, not too bad. It should be a pretty light hike, just due to the fact that the load is a lot lighter. Probably going to do about 7-8 miles today, somewhere around there. So, tomorrow's going to be pretty easy, minus the fact that I'm going to go up 1,000 feet, but that isn't too bad. Yeah, but off we go. I'm going to start here and get moving. All right, ignore the hair. It's kind of poofy with that hair gel. A little over a mile in and I started sweating, so I took off the beanie and the sunglasses. On we go. The fog is unreal this morning. It's beautiful. Dude, I can't even explain the amount of spider webs that are around me right now. Do you see those? I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it looks like it is. That's insane. They're literally everywhere. Like every 5 feet I step, there's a spider web across trail. This is just a test. I just strapped my magnet clamp to the front of my pack. I just want to see how this video turns out. Not like it's going to turn out good, but hey, you never know. It'd be pretty cool if it did. So far, I'm looking down and it looks pretty good. It's like a makeshift GoPro. This is pretty cool. Hopefully it stays on there. I don't know how good the magnet strength is. It feels pretty strong when I pull on it. So I guess we'll see if it's good enough to hold my phone on. Let me try running real quick. Whew. Okay, I'm not going to do that. That feels way too sketchy. Feels like it's about to fall off if I do that. I'll walk normal. There we go. I don't know, this would be pretty cool though if this works. Just test it out for a few minutes. So now you actually get like a first person view. It's pretty cool. Bought this magnetic MagSafe tripod off of Amazon. I'm going to review it a little more when I get to camp and get things set up, because as long as it holds up, it's probably going to be the best thing I ever bought for camping. It's about the same weight as the Ultra Prod 3, so still double the weight of the, I think, second and first one. But regardless, I mean, 4 ounces for something that's a pretty tiny tripod that folds up pretty compact, that I can even fit in my my hip pouch, is pretty good. And fact that it's magnetic makes it a lot easier. And yeah, so far the trail is going pretty good. Got, I don't know if you can see that, 1.8 miles down so far. It's not far. I haven't gone far. I'm kind of taking my time, enjoying my trip. I got plenty of time till dark. Well, kind of. Dark's at 4:30. But I should be getting to camp even after taking a lunch break at like 1:45 to 2:45 roughly, with how I'm moving. So that's pretty good. I'll have plenty of time to get some wood gathered up. Hopefully get a fire going before it starts raining, which should be around 5. But yeah, I'll just shut up and let you guys enjoy the view. Oh wow. I'm going to show you guys this. This is where the Black Bear Trail turns off. I'm really glad I noticed that because this is actually my turn. Because I'm taking the longer way this time. I've never done the track Black Bear. I can't talk after walking. I have never done the Black Bear Trail yet. I've always just gone straight through here. Oops, I might be changing my zoom with my finger. I always went straight through though to continue the Rimrock, just to save time. But I got time this trip. I really want to do all the extra I can. So yeah, I'm gonna head down this way. I wish there was a better way for me to maybe put this up for people to see. That's rough. I wonder what did that. Looks like it rotted out, but I can't tell. If anyone knows, let me know if that was rotting or if you think someone or something messed with it. Back to the first person view. Going down the Black Bear. So I finally upgraded my phone this trip. All of my other trips, I had an iPhone 13 Pro, which was a great phone. Like, genuinely, I did not need an upgrade. I've been holding off for quite a bit to wait for something that was truly a monumental change. And it finally came. I know a lot of people use Garmin's or Zolios, but I don't go out as often as a lot of people do. I only go out maybe 3-4 times a year. I'm probably going to increase that in the future. And I don't go too far. I mean, this is the longest one I'm doing, and it's only going to be, I think, like 13.4 miles. So it's not like it's super far. So I'm not too worried about getting a true satellite communicator now that iPhone is able to. I originally was looking at like the 15s, but then they announced the 16, of course, and I had the one iPhone generation before when satellite was available. So I decided it was finally time to upgrade, because now I can kind of send my girlfriend updates as to my checkpoints, when I get to camp, what I'm doing. I mean, I can't send pictures or anything, but I know with the new Garmin, I think Messenger Plus or whatever, you can do that. That's pretty cool. But I really don't want to spend $500 on that and have to pay for a crazy amount of service fees per month. Not service fees, but the plan per month, when it's basically like adding a whole new phone plan. And instead I could get the iPhone 16 Pro on this deal, and I did that. But tested out the satellite texting. It works pretty good. It's pretty cool. I'll be using that for this trip. kind of here and there. I have some checkpoints on the map. I'll post the map at the end of the hike on the video, and kind of show where those checkpoints were. My first checkpoint is after the Black Bear Trail, so I'll be taking a 5-minute break, take a few sips of water, and message Elise just to let her know where I am. But it's a pretty cool feature, and for someone that goes out in the woods alone, it's just good to have. You never know what's going to happen. You could fall, bear could mess with you. The chance of that is slim to none, but I mean, you never know. Whatever might happen, if you can't get out of the trail, having the availability of using satellite to get in contact with emergency services is just, it's priceless, even if it's just from an iPhone. Maybe one day, if the prices of Garmin's and their features and plans are cheaper, maybe I'll grab something like that, especially if I'm doing longer trails. The battery life will be worth it. But for now, I just don't see the point. But yeah, so got a lot of new gear over the last year. Went from a 50-ish pound pack down to a 20 base weight. So I'll be pulling out my gear at camp as long as it's dry enough to do some reviews and stuff. Kind of talk about the gear that worked for me, gear that didn't, as well as maybe future upgrades and what I'm looking into. Because there's definitely some things that I need, but I just don't want to spend the money on, because camping gear is not cheap, especially when you're trying to go lighter. So ideally, wait for Christmas gifts and birthday gifts and random times through the year where hopefully I don't have to spend too much of my money, you know? But yeah, beautiful day. I'll let you enjoy the view again. Wow, that is beautiful. Can't believe I've never come this way before. I mean, it's only like a mile or two off course, so it seems like it's well worth it so far. It's beautiful back here. I know a mile or two sounds like a long distance to some of you, but for anyone that's done hikes, 1 or 2 miles extra is not as much as you think. It goes pretty quick, so sometimes it's worth taking that extra time as long as you have it. I'm actually pretty impressed with this magnetic tripod. Kind of have it folded across my chest strap right now, and it's holding my phone pretty good. I'm bouncing around quite a bit and it's not falling off, so hopefully that doesn't change. I'm excited for later. I got some good food. I got some spaghetti. I got some, what's it called? I don't know, it's like some sort of, some sort of enchilada rice, I think, maybe, or something like that. I just stubbed the shit out of my toe right there. But yeah, I got those. I got gummy bears in my hip pouch for kind of when I feel my sugar going low as I'm walking. And yes, that happens with hiking, so having a sugary snack is a great thing as you're walking. I've got moon cheese. Never really tried it before now. I actually opened the package a few days ago just so I can kind of see if I liked it before even bringing it. And it's pretty dang good. I can't remember the flavor name of it, but it's pretty good. Also got some chipotle chili jerky. I've got some cashews. Wow, this is pretty back here. Sorry, I'm just taking in the views. It's beautiful. Yeah, what else do I have? Got some gum. Figure after every meal that's gonna be nice little refresher with being out here. I got a K-cup actually. Funny enough, that's spiced apple cider. I just dumped it into a little baggie. And if you didn't know, most K-cups, you actually don't need a Keurig to use them. I'm sure it's really wasteful, but sometimes you just want to get that single serve feeling without having to, actually have a whole Keurig. Like I don't even have a Keurig, and I use K-cups kind of all the time. The only ones you really need a Keurig for are the coffee ones, or ones that have those like filters built into the cup. But the ones that I like mostly are not the coffee ones, because I really prefer good coffee. And genuinely, Keurig cups, they just don't do it for me. When I'm out here, they might. I mean, I'm not carrying a Keurig with me. I usually use instant coffee on the trail for weight. But specifically with Keurig cups, most of them don't have filters in them, like the spiced chais, the hot chocolates. All those you can literally just dump it straight into a coffee cup or whatever cup you use and put hot water in it. Aside from that, the ones that do need a filter, you can still use those. You just put them in a French press, throw the water in it, and give it a few minutes, or even just do it right away, because with the Keurig, it goes straight through it. It's not like it's getting super strong. But if you want it strong, you can just leave it sit, like you're French pressing something and then French press it. So it's a good way to use K-cups if you don't have a Keurig. Mine broke, and then I never got another because I just didn't see the reason. I think I'm on trail still. It's hard to tell back here. There's so many leaves, but I feel like I'm staying on. Oh yeah, I see a trail marker up ahead. We're so good. Man, it is gorgeous down here. You can really see the water from here. And a lot of fog, too. Yeah, aside from that food-wise, let's see, what else do I got? I know I got something else. Oh, yeah, I brought a little treat for myself later. I've never had it, but I got a little bottle of Southern Comfort. I usually bring some other sort of liquor, but I usually bring that in, like, a little metal flask. And save weight, I switched from that to actually using one of those plastic bottles that you get at the store with like a couple servings worth of alcohol in it. So the only one they had when I went was Southern Comfort. So I'm gonna try that. Hopefully it's not too gross. I have plenty of Crown Apple at home. I could have just brought that and put it in there, but I didn't want to waste the Southern Comfort. So I'm just bringing that and we'll see how it is. And these rocks are awesome. Look at that. Let's see if I can get that view. Can you see down that crack in there? Yeah, there we go. That's cool. A lot of these rocks are here from glaciers in the past that had melted. It's really cool walking through them. There's some really big ones on this trail. I don't know about the Black Bear Trail because this is the first time I've gone this way, but the other parts of Rimrock and whatnot are quite full of these, and it's pretty. It's really pretty. Wow. You can See that fog rolling over the side of the hill there. It's gorgeous. Man, sometimes you really just gotta stop and appreciate things. You don't get views like this without walking quite a distance. And this isn't that far out. I'm only let's see, only 2.5 miles out. So short little hike to get here, and it's pretty gorgeous. Really good spot to have a little lunch with some of these rocks over here. You could definitely climb up on one and really enjoy yourself. All right, so at the rate that this is taking my battery, I'm not going to keep this rolling the whole time. If I plan to, I'll bring double the extra battery with me next time, because this thing's cool. This really is making a difference on being able to record. So I'll definitely bring the extra weight to have 20,000 milliamps next time instead of 10,000, because having a full extra couple phone charges would be well worth being able to record the whole trail from that. But all right, back on trail. Don't know if you can see it, but up at the top of the hill there is a doe. Let's see if I can get closer so that I can see it a little closer. Or is that? Oh, I'm gonna zoom in a little more. Is that what you are? It's hard to see from here. Gloves are not helping. God. I'll stick my trekking poles in the ground so I can. Oops, that works too. Right up there, though. I can kind of see it looking at me. It's waiting for me to move. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying. Get a little closer. Believe it or not, this is the first time on this trail that I see something other than a squirrel or a bird. So that's exciting. She's pretty. She's looking right at me. Yeah, you can see her. Cool. Oh, she's beautiful. I'm gonna walk a little further down trail, see if you can get a better view of her this way. You're okay. Just walking past you. I think she's all on her own. I looked kind of all different directions. Ooh, I almost went in a hole. Looked kind of all different directions and didn't see any more. Oh, she's pretty though. Wow. Wow. There she goes. Beautiful. It's really light colored. Oh, it's awesome. That's what I was hoping for this trip, because every other trip I've either heard things or only seen birds and squirrels. The one trip I actually heard a bear warning sign, but that was all. The last trip with my uncle, we woke up in the morning to a buck snorting. I don't know what it was snorting at, whether it was us moving in our sleeping bags or if there was something down the way that we were hearing. And then aside from that, the only thing I've heard on these trails is coyote in the middle of the night. Sometimes I'll be sleeping or laying there and you can hear them howling off in the distance. And then the one time, with how it sounded like they were easily, I don't know, maybe less than 100 feet away. They were pretty close. But yeah, I'll start recording again if I see it again. It's somewhere down the way here. Okay, I am at checkpoint 1, about to use satellite messaging to let Elise know I'm at checkpoint 1. And yeah, it's beautiful out right now. Yeah, it's almost Elise's break at work, so I'm going to keep satellite on for a little bit here, see if I can get some messages back and forth with her as I'm walking. And yeah. All right, 4.2 miles now. Just hung out over there by that sign for a little bit because I did get through to Elise and got to text her for a few minutes during our break, so that was pretty cool. Thank you, Apple, for actually implementing that update. It's really great. I'm sure that during the hurricanes this year it really came in handy, and I'm genuinely excited to see how much further it can truly go. I'd really love to see videos, pictures, calls going through satellite eventually too. I know how much that's going to take. For those of you who don't know, before I was actually in the Marines for 5 years as a satellite communications technician. And let me tell you what, even using proper satellite phones, it's not the best. But it's good to see advancements coming to actual cell phones, because one day we truly will be at a point where satellite communication is in our hands. And it kind of already is. So it's an exciting time. Splashed myself with water right in the face. Just bumped a tree branch and it flung back. It's a good time. My next break will be at noon. Probably gonna do lunch right then. You know, I love backpacking. I don't know what it is. I just love nature. Love walking to see new parts that I haven't. Kind of like doing the black bear trail today. I went out of the way just to be able to see somewhere I didn't. And something you should do every time you go out, even if you go on the same trails, is maybe go a different direction, different time of year, different time of day. Night hikes are cool. I haven't done one of those here, but I should do that soon. But yeah, just change your scenery a little bit. Enjoy it. You never know what you might see. And sure, you can get a lot of the experiences from car camping, but there's some places you'd never make it with a car. And it's good. It's a really good time. You get to test your outdoor skills if you really want to go that way, or make it as easy as you want if you get a cook system, good tent and whatnot. I mean, or you can just sleep under the stars if you really want. But I don't know about you, but I don't like snakes or spiders, and they're pretty prevalent out here, so I'm not trying to wake up with one of those on my face. When I was in the Marines in California on Pendleton, there's a few times where I either woke up with a spider in my tent, specifically a brown recluse, or I woke up once in 29 Palms, a field op, and I woke up with, thankfully it got crushed, but there was a diamondback right outside my tent. And thankfully the generator that they parked next to me actually ran it over. But that was kind of sketchy. And yeah, thankfully it was the one trip I actually had one of the tents that day. So that was very appreciated once I saw that. But yeah. But most trips you don't see stuff like that. So either way though, I don't risk it. I like being in a tent, even if it's a tiny one person. It's a barrier from the bugs, barrier from just the outside in general. And you never know when you might need that, especially in storms. I mean, yeah, tarp can get you through those, probably even better, genuinely. But the ease of use of a tent, specifically a trekking pole one, it's well worth the slight extra weight. I mean, it really is, in my opinion. Speaking of weight, we'll definitely be talking about more of that later, because there's definitely some upgrades in my near future, hopefully, for lightening the load, maybe things I can remove, things I can swap. And it's also something I'm really excited about that, believe it or not, it's from Walmart. It's an Ozark Trail product, and as we know, not all of those are good, but I've had some good luck with some of their things, and I'm really excited for the one I'll be showing you. One of the things I use from them is actually these trekking poles. When I was looking into trekking poles when I started backpacking, I was kind of looking at the prices, the weights, and they're all not that different. I mean, the lightest you go is still only a few ounces less per pole, and I don't know, even if I went for a higher quality aluminum pole, it's on average only going to save me like 2 ounces per pole. Price is about the same I paid for these, so sure, it might be worth it one day, but honestly not until these break, or if the tips break off or something. There's no reason, in my opinion, to upgrade these for a while. The only way I might is if I continue to have other people join me sometimes. Like, I had my uncle come with me earlier this year, and kind of wish I had a second set for him or anyone else that comes out with me, because they do make a difference drastically, especially with grip and going up and down hills. But they help quite a bit. Plus then I can get maybe another trekking pole shelter and have 2 lightweight tents instead of the other 5-pound tent I use for others, because that's not fun to hike with. But yeah, no, the Ozark Trail's actually been pretty good with me with these poles. They've lasted, I'd say it's only been about 60, 70 miles worth of hiking with them so far. But they've impressed me. They've had no issues. They stay tight. They work fine with my tent. Haven't had any traction issues. And I've only used the basic tips that come with them. I haven't put on even the mud baskets because I haven't felt I've needed them. So yeah, not bad. Maybe one day if they break, I'll swap out to something lighter. But even then, I don't think I'll go carbon fiber. I'd rather have a pole break or bend than break, because you can always bend it back and still use it for your shelter, and it's still going to be useful to at least get you out of the trail. Once a carbon pole breaks, it's done, and I don't like that. The weight difference of maybe 2 ounces for those versus another lightweight aluminum pole is just, in my opinion, that's not worth it to me. You know, a lot of people have great experiences with carbon ones, never break on them, but I myself have definitely caught my poles between plenty of rocks where I feel a carbon pole would have snapped by now, and I just don't like risking that. I like having my poles. While I was talking, I didn't realize that I took a wrong turn. Whoops. Thankfully, I noticed before I got too far. I'm only 500 feet off course. Whoops. I just kind of looked down at my watch. It was like, you're off trail. And I was like, ooh. Yeah, back to trail. All right. Now I know why I went the wrong way, because this is the way I normally go. Down this way. And I am taking this way. I don't know if you can see the trail. It goes right through where it tells you not to turn or not to go straight. So I guess it's not fully my fault. But yeah, I ran up the hill and it was only 500 feet, so not too far off. All right, back on the extended version of the trail I'm taking. Looks like it's this way. All right, if there's anything I've learned this trip so far, it's I need to bring external storage if I want to record this much. I've taken almost 40 gigs worth of video. I'm not going to use all of it, obviously, but I either need to record less or start bringing external storage. That's probably what I'm going to do in the future if I'm going to record this much. Yeah, so I just stopped for a minute, offloaded a ton of unused apps I have, cleared up about 25 gigs worth of space. Definitely going to take recording a little slower just till I get to camp and can kind of edit some of the clips and trim them down so I can clear up some space. But yeah, that's the thing. I have the 128 gig iPhone, which it's not a whole lot of storage, but I'm the type of person that uses the cloud most of the time. And obviously that's not going to work out here. So I need to start carrying some sort of external drive to transfer things to. That's going to be my best bet. I can definitely tell you why the normal trail doesn't go this way. It's can't really see it that much, but right there definitely is. You step in that, you're going down about a foot worth of muck. So this part of the trail is kind of sucky. And it's hard to tell if you're on the trail, to be honest. It's I don't really see many markers, if any. I haven't seen one in quite a minute. Yeah. I just checked my Gaia GPS. I am, from what it looks like on there, on course. But yeah, this is fun. Update. Down there was definitely off trail. That's where I was supposed to go. Or come from. Tree marker. All right. Update on that. Good update, actually. The magnet is really strong. Doesn't look very tall, and it's not. It's only a couple feet. I jumped off that with my phone hanging from this, not thinking. It didn't come off. Hold on. Let me get the brand of that again. Kamalo. Nice. Man, the wildlife is really active this time. Oh, don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah, wildlife is really active this time. That's not what I was talking about, if you did see that. I just saw a whole family of deer run across the trail right in front of me. I wish I had this rolling. I definitely need a way to fully record the whole trip next time. I'm gonna make that happen. I don't care what it takes, weight-wise, battery-wise, whatever. Because that was awesome. It's really active out here today, and I'm loving it. Don't know if you can see it, but spiderweb heaven. Just what I love right before going through that. See if I can go around it ideally. All right, not sure if you can see it, but finally starting to see parts of the reservoir down there. It's beautiful. Water. Starting to get to that part of trail where if you fall down, it's not gonna be a good time. Probably looks even less steep on my phone, but here's straightforward. There's the angle of the hill. Oh, poor buddies. Oh, it's okay. Oh, look, buck right there. Man, it blows my mind how they can run hills. There they go. Made that little sound when they got close just so they didn't get startled when they're too close to me. I didn't know if there was a buck with them. There definitely was. So I just didn't want to startle them when they were right up on me. The last thing you want is for a buck to charge you. So I just wanted to let them know I was here since they were getting so close. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just walking through. There's no one behind me, I don't think. Nope, just me. Go ahead. You're pretty. Wow. You are really pretty. It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. Just going past. I know you're probably just trying to catch up to your family. Wow. Beautiful though. You are gorgeous. Wow. That is so cool. Alright. Alrighty, here's one of my gear upgrades I was talking about. I got a 2-liter CNOC bag. I'm actually using it with the Sawyer bag, which I usually don't use, but I figure that's a convenient thing to hang with the coupler I got right here through the Sawyer squeeze. And I'm kind of just gravity filtering while I have a lunch. I'm about to cook some food in a second here. And that will bring me to my next thing I need to talk about, which is right in that right side pocket there. I'll pull that out in a second. Okay, so this is the next piece of gear I'd like to talk about. I have not seen a single video on this yet. This is the Ozark Trail backpacking chair, I think it's called. Either way, it's actually crazy how good of a deal this one is. I got their previous one, which was well over 2 pounds before. This one's just about 2, if not under, if I recall. I took the case it comes in and left that out at home as well. But this one's a lot lighter. It's actually breathable, which is great. But you know what's crazy is the best feature I found is something that even the best brands are still getting wrong. This comes with little mud baskets to keep it from sinking. And we'll see how effective it is this trip, but I always have the issue where I sit in these type of chairs and I just sink straight down. This one I just tried. It's on a pretty muddy spot and it didn't go anywhere. So hopefully it stays that way. But yeah, this is like 20 or something like that bucks to buy. I don't think you can beat it. All the other ones on Amazon are like $2 for or 2 pounds for around that price too, and it's it's lighter than most of those. And yeah, there's $100 chairs that are still not much lighter than this and still have straight poles that go straight in the ground. So hopefully this holds up. I'm really excited about this one. Alrighty, gonna make lunch here soon. Filtered a liter of water. Got another probably half liter right there, maybe a liter. Yeah. Gonna cook my food. Charging my watch because it's almost dead. It dies pretty quick when you're hiking. Because I was using it for GPS, so it kills it very fast. But yeah, let me show you what I got on the menu today. Okay, so this is actually a Mountain House chicken fajita bowl. I actually repack all of my Mountain Houses and pretty much every other meal into Ziploc bags, the freezer bags specifically, because they can handle boiling water. And then I take the actual pouch, and instead of bringing a koozie on hikes, I use this. I rehydrate, first of all, the meal that it came in it, and then I reuse it as well for all of my other meals. So I got another Mountain House meal that I'm also going to do in this exact same package. And then on top of that, have some oatmeal with, blueberries and strawberries that are dehydrated for tomorrow morning. I'm going to cook that in there as well. And then for my drinks, I brought some hot cider and I brought some coffee, which are just going to go right in my cook pot, which is my next talking point. This is the Toaks Titanium, I think 550. Hang on, I'm going to switch to the tripod so this is easier. All right, hopefully this doesn't fall because I propped it up on my leg. But yeah, this is the Toaks 550. And I keep it in its cozy, whatever you want to call it, because it kind of keeps it all together. Inside of this, I have a little sponge, clean out my pot if I need to, a mini Bic, and then the BRS 3000 teeth. I'm sure many backpackers are very familiar with this, but it's easily the lightest stove you can get for the price. It's insanely cheap. It's like 16 bucks, and it works very well. This is the first time I've used it on a trip, but I have used it before just at camp, just to test it out and make sure it was good before I came out on trail. Aside from that, I'm using a little 100-gram MSR pot, or fuel can. It's gonna spray me. There we go. That's fun. Okay. So yeah. And yeah, that's my cook pot. I'm gonna make my boiling water right now to heat up my meal, and I will see you guys in a bit. Alrighty, got it all warming up in here. Yeah, this, even in the middle of winter last year when I went, when it was down to like 25 during the day, it stayed warm after heating up in this still. So I don't know, I feel like this is a lot lighter than the koozie, and you get one every time you buy a freeze-dried meal. So cheap to replace, kind of. BRS did very good. Sorry, hard to pick up. I'd say it came to boil probably, I didn't completely time it, but it felt like it was only 3 to 4 minutes, and that was 12 ounces of water, so not too shabby. Just mixed up some electrolyte mix, strawberry kiwi, Great Value brand. No, very good. It's very important to have some electrolytes, especially on trail. It will help keep you hydrated throughout the day, so do not skimp on electrolytes or salt. You can always just bring salt. Taco Bell Diablo sauce. Yum. Alrighty, we are back on trail. That lunch was great. between the electrolytes and that chicken fajita stuff, that was good. That Taco Bell sauce definitely added a lot to it as well. I'm just passing checkpoint 2 right now. You can actually see the signs right here where I connect back to the normal trail. Yeah, should have at max a couple hours until camp. I'll kind of keep an eye out on the way to the site that I have marked to see if there's anything better. But yeah, we'll see. Thorn heaven. Oh, Jesus. Oh, jeez. Ooh, almost slid down the hill. This is usually where it gets a little swampy. We'll see how wet it gets down here. Not as swampy as it usually is, it doesn't look like, but we did have a pretty dry season. We have gotten some rain recently though, but yep, little creek here, and it looks like it's gonna be kind of wet there. I'm gonna turn this off so I can focus. All right here, if you turn right, this is actually where the Morrison campground is. It's right down that way. But if you take left and follow this way, there is some nearby pretty decent sites, and you don't have to pay for them. Not saying it's a bad thing to go down to the campground. There's good sites. It's not very expensive from what I know. A few birds flying over there. And there's tables and fire pits and stuff over there that are already set up. I don't need that. There is a few random sites people have kind of put together and whatnot in the middle of the woods over this way, and also near the beach still. And they're pretty decent. There's usually a couple sitting logs of rocks, some fire pits made out of rocks, and I got a chair. I don't need a table. Nature is my table, and yeah, so I'm gonna go this way, and yeah. All right, I think I found where I'm gonna call home for the night. It's a little earlier than my normal spots. It's not part of the campground, but it's pretty much right after, and it looks like it maybe used to be, because there is a fire ring. It's a little full of mud right now, it looks like, or ash that is pretty caked in, so I might have to empty it out a little bit. But it's a pretty good spot. I mean, it's beautiful here. Look at this beautiful stream for fresh water I got right next to me. Look at that. Got plenty of water here. I'm sure if I followed it that way, it would take me right to the beach. It's not far. My normal campsite is right up that hill, probably about not even 1/10 of a mile away. It's real close. I didn't even know this spot was here. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get set up, get the bear bag situated ahead of time, and just grab food as I need it. I'm going to pitch my tent and start gathering some firewood. But first, at 2:30, which is 4 minutes from now, I'm going to turn on satellite and get some messages back and forth with my girlfriend on a break. So, great timing. Alrighty, tent's all pitched. I don't think I did too bad. Only took a couple minutes. Got a pretty low pitch, just so I don't have a ton of airflow. I know it's not that cold tonight, but in general, cold is not your friend in the winter when it comes to blowing through the tent. So I'm gonna minimize the airflow as much as possible. Here's a nice little trick with the Lanchan if you do bring 2 trekking poles, which I imagine you would. If you hook up one of the guy lines to your trekking pole, and then down there, you'll see it actually gives you some extra headroom because it actually pulls up the inside netting. Quite useful, especially if you're long enough to actually, touch your head on it. All right, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and show off my sleep system. I probably don't need the SOL escape bivvy right now, but I'm gonna start the night in it tonight later on just to be safe. Because the last time I was out here, not the last time, but 2 times ago, I definitely regretted not starting the night in it. And if I get too hot, I could always take it off. So I'm gonna start off with it just because it's more of another windbreak. And yeah, so here's my sleep setup. So this is actually a cheap blow-up pillow that came with one of the old mattresses I used for backpacking. I don't sleep just on this. This sucks. It's, as you can tell, very short. But what I do is I put it inside of a gaiter and essentially put this on top of it. This is a synthetic puffy from Amazon. It's actually the Amazon Basics brand. It's really cheap, really not that thick, but it's pretty good for warmth for mild cold. So I just kind of put this on top of this, stuffed inside of this, and it makes a heck of a pillow. For my sleep system itself, I got the Ozark Trail sleeping mat down there just to protect my mattress and to add a little bit of R value for warmth. I have the Climate Static V Insulated Luxe. I do not sleep well on a thin, not wide one, so I got the Luxe because it's a lot wider, so it actually keeps me on it. And then I have the SOL Escape Bivvy. It's essentially a Mylar blanket, but it's a much better material, holds up a lot better, and it zips up and has a drawstring, so you can essentially make it like a full-blown mummy bag. I have the Kelty Cosmic Down 20 degree sleeping bag. It's pretty good. I've slept warm with this alone down to 40, about 45 actually. Anything below that and throwing this in helps. This is, I don't even remember which brand it is. There we go, Sea to Summit Thermalite. This is essentially just a liner for inside the sleeping bag. It's really hard to get in it once it's already in, so I keep it out and kind of put it on before I hop in the sleeping bag. And that just adds like comfort as well as an extra like 5-10 degrees of warmth. So yeah, got my pack right up there kind of underneath to prop up the top half for where my head is. And yeah, I had to switch which side my head was on because I didn't really realize it, but it's kind of slanted downhill on this side. So if I were to sleep down with my head on this side, it would have sucked. But I did pop out the top on this one as well to really help get some headroom up there. So yeah, I'm gonna go hang my bear bag, retrieve it again just for what food I need and whatnot, and collect some firewood and get a fire going hopefully before dark. Alrighty, and it begins. Alright, moment of truth since I've never had Southern Comfort, if I could talk. Actually smells nice. It's sweet. That's not bad. It's not good. It's not bad though. I can drink that. starting. Used a little fire starter. It didn't really work. It just kind of went out. So I just wrapped some twigs in duct tape, lit the duct tape, and yeah, that's doing it. So, time for fun. Alrighty, as you can see, the fire didn't work as planned. It kind of went out pretty quick, and honestly, I'm not too worried about it. It's not that cold out tonight, and even if it was, I got plenty of warming gear. It rained for a couple minutes, but literally only a couple minutes, but it is dinner time. I got some, whoops, coffee. And I've got some spaghetti. So yeah, gonna eat and then relax for a while out here. It's still nice enough to hang out here. I'm not keeping this, probably blinding you guys, sorry. Not keeping my white light on this whole time. I just did it for the video here. I'm using my red light. But yeah, I'm just hanging out here, and eventually I'll go in the tent and watch some anime, Demon Slayer, and Bad Boys for Life. I have those downloaded on my phone, so that should be fun. I'm just trying to hang out outside first as long as I can before I'm kind of like, okay, it's kind of chilly out here. Let's go inside. But yeah, time for dinner. Alrighty, I'm in my tent now, just relaxing. Just playing some Pokemon Platinum. Time for fun. Well, good morning. I actually slept really good. I slept all the way till 8 a.m. from like midnight. After watching Bad Boys for Life and some Demon Slayer episodes and playing some Pokemon Platinum last night. So yeah, I stayed warm all night. A little too warm. I sweat through the bag into my bivy sack, but inside of the bag and me were actually dry. So the bag did its job. It expelled all the water. It all went straight through to the outer layer, and I was bone dry waking up. So that's cool. Now, if this were like a multi-day hike, I would have to find some sort of way to dry the outside of my bag before tonight, because otherwise I would freeze. But yeah, I'll probably just in the future, instead of using a thermal bivy, ideally have a warmer bag that can expel water without having to worry too much about the moisture being trapped in. But for now, that's what I got, and that's okay, it works. And bags are expensive. It's a beautiful morning. It was raining most of the night after I went to sleep. And then most of this morning too. It just stopped, actually. Finally, I kind of was laying there. Didn't have to get up, so I was like, let's just relax and wait this out a little bit. And it finally calmed down, and I'm out here now. I'm going to go retrieve my bear bag and start some oatmeal and coffee in a few minutes. So, yeah. See you then. A nice little trick you can use if you bring an umbrella. You can use it as a windbreak to block the wind from your stove. That way it's more effective. Careful you don't burn up your umbrella, but it's a very effective way of blocking the wind. Yum. Time for breakfast. Alrighty, it's about 10:15, just finally packing up camp. Got my chair and all the cooked stuff put away. Packing my pack's gonna be fun since mostly everything outside is wet. Well, the tent and then my sleeping bag on the outside just because of the condensation from me. But aside from that, it shouldn't be too bad. I'm just gonna pack up, relax for a little bit longer, then head out. I've just been sitting here relaxing after eating, and it's been nice. All right, time for fun. That took longer than expected because there was definitely some spouts of pretty heavy rain. So I had to take a couple breaks to kind of keep under cover and keep as much of my stuff dry as I could. Put the tent on the outside because it is drenched. So I kind of packed things a little bit differently this time. biggest thing I changed was putting this sleeping pad on the outside just to make it so I had more room on the inside. It should be more comfortable on my back. My blow up sleeping mat is probably a lot more comfortable on my back than that was as I walk, so yeah. Alrighty, put away one of my trekking poles so that I can carry an umbrella at the same time I use my poles. Figure one will be enough, and the frequency that the umbrella is gonna come out is definitely gonna be worth it. I do have my frog togs, but when it comes to keeping cool while hiking, using the umbrella is going to be really helpful for that, because my body will be able to breathe a lot better and I'll still be staying dry. So yeah. Alrighty. I forget the exact mileage of how far I have to get back. I think it's like 5 miles or something, but I'll check at the end. Alright, back on trail. Not gonna lie, going up that hill I completely passed it and couldn't find the trail for a second just because there's so many leaves. You can't even see where the trail is. Passed right through it. But yeah, off I go. Oh, super wet. That's great. Oh, okay. Probably could have just left that whole thing, but I tried to step all over the rocks in the middle and got soaked. Just got trekking to a caught in a rock. Man, I will say, one thing that you don't really appreciate about rainy weather always is when you are out in nature, the water is just flowing heavily, and it is beautiful, and the sound is just so relaxing to listen to. It's incredible. Look at this. Like, that alone is worth this hike. This is beautiful. Made it a couple miles so far. I don't know what's going on with my GPS. Not tracking my mileage properly. Every time I lock my phone, it's stopping the tracking. So I'm gonna have to map out the trail after with the app and see the true distance that I did today. But yeah. Oh well, it is what it is. I know it was going to be roughly a 13.4 mile total between yesterday and today, so at least I knew that. I just kind of wanted to know with all the random detours and side steps I have to take sometimes how much different it actually was, but I'm not trying to keep my phone unlocked this whole time I'm hiking. Really don't want to waste my phone battery to that extent. I do have stuff to charge it back at the car. I also have an EcoFlow in the car ready. It's got like 50% battery, and that alone can charge my phone like 20 to 30 times probably off that alone. But I'm using it to cook when I get back. So I'd like to save all that battery for that. But yeah. Yet again, another trail marker that's fallen down. Thankfully, I know this part, so I knew where to turn. But based on the tracks right there, it looks like other people have gone the other way. So yeah, there's another up this way. Alrighty, here's the part of trail that you could either go straight up there through the middle of the Rimrock and Morrison. It's part of the Morrison technically, but it's just the bottom half of it that cuts in between the Morrison and Rimrock. If you do the Morrison loop, you'll go around and come back up that way. Instead, I'm going to go over this way and do the outside of the Morrison loop portion. It's a little longer, and I haven't gone that way before, so just new parts of trail to see. Ooh, that was my... Oh, jeez. Well, it's definitely a trail where, without fail, you will get wet every single time, no matter what part of the year. Definitely going to pin this campsite. This is like literally steps after getting onto that split of trail. Yeah, that's a pretty beautiful site. I like that. All right, low-key impressed with myself right now. I just jumped this whole thing without getting wet, so I'll take it. That almost sucked. I was millimeters off from falling backward right there. And it's not that deep, but if I went straight back, my whole body was about to be drenched. And it's cold. Get a little wet this time. Maybe too much about it. You know what? No, I can probably go right over there. It's a little better. Still gonna get a little wet though. Ugh. Yeah, this is a little better as long as these rocks are stable. Looks like they are. No, not the one I'm on right now, or that one. That one's not bad. Ugh. Okay. That's fun. Oh god, that whole rock just shifted. Okay, this one's good. This one's good. This Log's a little rotted, but I should be good. Okay. Oh, that's fun. Oh, this will be fun. Oh, that would have been a fun fall. Tiny little waterfall. Let's see if I can get an angle on it for you. Pretty. Really not trying to go down there right now, but there it is. That is a beautiful waterfall over there. It's hard to see from this angle, so if I get closer and get a better angle on it, awesome. If not, one day I'll go down there on one of my other hikes if I go to the other direction or something. Really not trying to nestle my way down there and then over to there and then back up. But that is beautiful. All right, on the other side of the trail, I was able to get a little closer. I can climb down right next to it if I really wanted to, but this is a great view already. If there's any way to boost morale while walking a long ways, it's gummies. Or anything with a little bit of sugar. Sour Patch Kids are usually my favorite, but grabbed these over at Sierra when I was grabbing other camping stuff and figured they'd be good. I was right, they're good. They're definitely hitting the spot on this walk. Okay, so just passed a sign saying caution, logging ahead. I didn't realize it was going to be basically on trail. Why? Why are we taking out parts of this trail? Or next to it, I should say. I don't like that. All right, just coming up on the parking sign. That's about, I'm pretty sure, a half mile out. Here it is. But yeah, I just spent the majority of the last 2 miles actually running it. I was jogging, but first of all, my last hike, I blew through my old Brooks Ghosts, which really aren't meant for hiking, but they're only kind of cross-training shoes I had back then. And I wore them for like 6 or 7 years, and they finally blew out on the last trip. But I got Brooks Cascadias for this trip, and I'm genuinely amazed with how my feet feel in these. The rock plates are great. The soles are really grippy. Yeah, they've done really well. We'll see how they hold up over a few hundred miles, but for this trip, they were very good. And the only issue I had was about 2-3 miles in the first day, because I got lock laces, which are great. They really are. but I didn't tighten them enough the first day. So my left foot was sliding around a little bit. Didn't get to a blister, but I did get a hot spot, and knew if I didn't adjust it, I would have got a blister. So thankfully I caught it in time. I didn't put anything on it to keep it from becoming a blister, because genuinely just tightening up the shoe enough felt like it did enough. And I can confirm that so far so good, and I'm almost done. So I'm making my time frame. Should be back to the car a little bit before 2, leaving before 2:30. I'm gonna have lunch before I leave, some beef stew in the car, and lovely puddles. And when I leave, I'm gonna be headed home to pick up my girlfriend from work. It should be perfect timing. Takes me about an hour and a half to get home, so she's out at 4, so should be good timing. Oh, that's a lovely sound. Not sure if you heard that, but it started. That's my car. Oh, warm car. Oh, I'm probably really zoomed in on my face. I just realized that. All right, just walking up on the car now, a couple hundred feet away. Oh, it's a good feeling when you can see that. Looks like there's another truck up there just leaving. Oh man, this was a good trip. It's beautiful out, it really is. Wasn't that cold. Stayed warm with all the gear I had and stayed dry at night. Bag on the outside didn't, but that's my own fault for using a bivvy. But hey, I stayed warm. Is that a smashed pumpkin? I didn't even notice that yesterday. Oh, yeah. All right, let me show you my little setup here. Got some beef stew. I've got an induction cooktop, steel pan, and back there I have my EcoFlow Delta 2. I use that for car camping, but having it out here ready to go is going to come really in handy, especially because when you get back from trail, you never know how charged your phone's going to be. Yeah, you could just turn on your car and charge your phone, but what if your car's dead? What if, I don't know, anything. Just being able to not have to turn on the car just to get either a phone charge or cook. No fuel, cooking as well, which means I can do it safely in my car. Like I'm about to have beef stew cooking in my car with no ventilation. That's crazy. Yeah, it's been a game changer to be able to cook with induction, especially in colder months. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy some beef stew. But yeah, while this is cooking, just a few of the things I've definitely learned this trip. I need a better bag if I want to go out in really cold temperatures while it's wet, because using the bivvy, although it worked for one night, if I ever do 2 nights, if my bag gets soaked, I'm screwed on the second night. That's not going to work. So that's one thing I need to change if I'm going to be going out much colder nights for in the cold. Number 2, I need to bring less food. I still have half of that thing of booze left. I have a whole thing of jerky little pack of jerky. I separated it in little bags. I got half the nuts I brought still left. I've got like a quarter of the gummy bears that I brought, which was 2 little bags of those. And then on top of that, I still have a whole thing of the moon cheese that I brought. My main meals, I did eat all of those, so that's good. But I think half the snacks next time, maybe, because that would save me some weight. and either half the booze or just different booze. I don't know, I just didn't like it enough to drink it all. But that's okay. It still hit the spot a little bit because it warmed me up a little bit, and I don't know, just felt good. It's nice. In the middle of the woods, it's nice to have a couple sips. But aside from that, not gonna forget to tighten my shoes enough next time to start the trail, because that could have sucked a lot worse. And 100% need to get a USB-C flash drive with plenty of storage for videos, because now that I know I can kind of use my phone like a mini GoPro, I want to do it the whole trail. I really want to be able to catch all of my thoughts along the way, all of my things I see. Like those deer, that was an awesome sight. I've never had deer all run up on me that close in my entire life. I've had them kind of walk up to me during camping in like Cook Forest and stuff, but genuinely that was incredible. So I might not have caught that if I didn't use it like this. I didn't for that, I don't think, but in the off chance that you have to hurry up and grab the video camera or phone or whatever you're using, you might miss something. So having that was really cool. I need to do that more. And if I'm gonna do that more, I need more battery. So I'll probably be, I have two 10,000 milliamp power banks. I have one at home and one here. I think I'll bring both next time. It's not that much more weight, and it's a lot more power for stuff like that. So yeah. Ooh, another thing I've definitely learned, do this every time. Perfect way to end a hike. Alrighty, I'm gonna finally head home. I got about an hour and a half drive. This has been a really great trip, and I can't wait for the next one. I need to definitely consider some gear changes, upgrades, etc. But I had a wonderful time, and I'm really excited for my next trip. Hopefully next time we'll be in the snow.